Hello there. Very good evening and welcome to Elite Dangers with Cmdr Deluvian. Although tonight is a very special and very out of schedule completely short stream, because tonight it's not going to be anything really about me, as for last couple of months we had our friend and Discord member Enchantman attempting essentially to crash my last record, but establish the distance from Sol that I don't think anybody can really dream about. So let's get to it, and I will introduce Enchantman. Hello?
Hello.
I hope you're audible. Of course, 07 everybody on stream. Poison, can you hear Enchantman just right? If you could help us. Audible. Good. I think everything somewhat works today. Super. Enchantman. Everybody heard, not everybody, everybody here heard my story about the Sematus beacon and the challenge, but I think it's all about you, and exactly, can you tell us, how did you even come across that something like this is possible, and came to an idea of stretching that record beyond the limits?
So I think the first time I actually heard about Elite Dangerous was, I don't even remember, probably years ago, just coming across an article on a website mentioning, I don't remember if it was you or Sarah, the fuel rat rescue, one of those.
One of those, right?
And years later, when I actually started playing the game, I was actually thinking about attempting to fly into nebulas by going through Super Cruise, and started looking at the numbers. And I guess in the back of my mind, I remembered, oh yeah, there was that thing where you try to go really far. And so I kind of started just playing around with builds in Coriolis and kind of putting together a spreadsheet and doing some math, and eventually I managed to get myself invested in it and decided to actually try to do it.
And gentlemen, it is February 3308. When did you actually start all of this and actually put it in motion eventually? How long ago?
I'd have to check the thread. I remember I sort of put off and eventually managed to forget about it for a little while.
Speaking of which,
but I remembered eventually.
I do have your thread here. I posted the link to it. For those who have not heard about the story, here is some good read. You can maybe check when you start. But I'm thinking before you started posting, you were already in motion on the carrier, I believe.
Right. It looks like I posted on September 2nd. When I posted it, at that time, I had already prepared the ships and had moved everything to a carrier that was heading to Colonia, and then took a second carrier over to the system, OIVAC SGYD0, I think.
Right, so...
Oh, right, it's right there on the screen.
Well, it's on your screen and I'm not showing it yet, but I will very soon. Instead, though, let me try to show mine, but I did change a lot of settings for this for this occasion today. Give me just a second. Boom, here we are. Okay, so for those who play Elite, you may mostly understand what's going on. For those, I've done that challenge a couple of times, and I know that every single time I had a really hard time to explain outside of Elite colleagues, friends, how it even works. So let's maybe do a quick introduction, because that's our Milky Way galaxy in the game. Full-size 400 billion star systems. The extreme one, the furthest away from Sol, which is of course our center of universe for us, right, is exactly the system Oevasi SGY D0, and you can go no further from there. Except of that couple of crazy guys, actually it was definitely one guy before me, Commander Skumi, figured out that if you get there and then you start super cruising outside of the galaxy, your distance, because it's a different instance, to the next system is not changing, but your relative distance from the main star, as well as the distance from Sol, which is somewhere over there, right, is actually changing. And this is how it all started. Some of you probably heard the story of Commander Persera, and multiple commanders tried that attempt, and over the last 5-6 years that distance stretched from a couple of light years into the abyss to 186 on my behalf on my part last year. But we are now talking about something that maybe Enchantment will tell you in just a second. One more comment. The way it is done, yet again, you are super cruising from this system as far as you can. And like I said, because the distance between the instances, between those two systems is not changing, then technically, if you jump from here or from here, it doesn't matter. You can actually jump back to something which is Oevasi RGY D0, and I call it the rescue system. Now, we need to start focusing on Enchantment's adventure. Enchantment, what did you do? Because I think it's not a secret that we are meeting here today because the record is being destroyed. Not even that you beat the record, but it's just out of the water. So what's the story?
So I guess sort of the main idea is you want to bring as much fuel as possible and use it as efficiently as possible, which is how I ended up with the Type 9. But you can also refuel using limpets.
Correct.
So the idea was, it's almost like in Kerbal Space Program if you have a rocket with stages with crossfeed. You sort of have... I ended up deciding 4 just because 4 is a round number and you get diminishing returns. So starting out, there's 4 ships, and then at the right moment, when it's sort of calculated to be optimal, the 4th ship will refuel the other 3 and then self-destruct, and then the 3 continue, and then the 3rd refuels the other 2, and then finally the last tanker refuels the main ship.
And the main ship carries on to end of fuel, almost, right?
Right.
Well, you need to have at least, I think the bare minimum, and I would never ever come that close, is 8 tons or 8.5. It really depends, at least by my experience. I don't care what people say about the math and game mechanics, but I don't want to come close to this ever again, because some of you heard about my rescue, 141 light years beyond Samotus Beacon, which became viral 3 years ago by fuel rats. Completely unnecessarily miscalculated. I hope, Enchantment, you're not about to make that same mistake, right?
Right. So, sort of taking advice of don't try to push it from you, because you've given me a lot of advice over the course of this. But also, so currently the ship is at 11 tons of fuel. So I sort of optimized it such that when it's nearly depleted, it has only just barely enough jump range to make it to the rescue system, since higher rated frame shift drives use more power, and more power uses more fuel over time. So I made it be just the bare minimum, but as a result, it actually can't make the jump when it starts out, and it's only just now reached a low enough fuel level that its jump range is far enough, which is at 11 tons, and it needs 5.3 to jump, so I do have more fuel than I probably need, but it doesn't hurt to be safe.
It doesn't hurt to be safe, exactly. Because how long was the trip so far? If you think about it, how many days, how many months actually you've been traveling? And I'm only talking exclusively Super Cruise.
It's probably been, I know the spreadsheet has an exact number, but at least a month. Maybe a month and a half.
Must be more, yeah.
Right, but that doesn't include, downtime and refueling.
Right. I know, just because the 186 I did last year took me 32 days, Super Cruise. So, and I don't want to get the cat or, let the cat out of the bag yet, but I know your distance, and it is more than 180. So it must have been a little bit longer than a month. All right. What do you think? You ready for it?
I think so. One thing that's kind of funny is I've played the game for maybe like 700, 800 hours before doing this. But over the course of this, my Steam statistics, it's gone up to 1,900 hours. So technically I've spent more time flying in a straight line, not even at my computer, than I have doing everything else.
But you know what's funny? Because I know the pain, of course, but I also realized the funny thing when you guys have connected, I think Inara does the same thing, definitely EDSM. They measure your activity based on jumps. So if you're super cruising for 2 months, they show you never played the game. That is so weird. Okay, Enchantment, and with your main account, Vivienne Heliat, if I hope I pronounce it correctly. Want to talk about some ideas for the commanders, and what commanders are actually, which accounts are included?
Oh, right. So I made alternate accounts. I purchased a Horizons account, just sort of the base game, because I don't really need them to be in Odyssey. And while at first, I named the first one Vivienne Clone #1, and I figured I'd just do the same thing, but then I realized, I might want to use these accounts for other things. So the other two have actual names. I just named them after characters I played in tabletop games.
Cool. Well, like I said, and now I will be able to Okay, good. Because sorry guys, I was not able to hear the chat. I just one monitor, one display too few. But we have currently through Discord actually an inside view into what is about to happen. And you already see the screen, the control screen of main menu of Vivienne Heliat, which is one of the characters of Enchantment. Let's get to it.
Right. Oh, and you can see the paint is seen better days.
Seen better days, yeah.
I think I won't even repair it just because, I don't know, it's like a memento.
I'm actually shocked, maybe because it's colored like this, that there is still pretty much a lot left, because I did it with the cutter Midnight Black. When I finished 186 years, it was silver. It was no paint on it. There was no paint on it.
Right. It might be the ship. It's also a vibrant color.
Yeah.
Okay. So actually when I started out, I was playing in like private group sessions and solo play, but after a little while I realized, like, if someone manages to interdict me when I'm this far away,
gank you over
honestly,
there.
they deserve to shoot me.
Yeah.
I guess plane open.
Yeah, Poison is saying the same thing. If they gank you out there, they've earned it.
Right, do I have on, let me turn on sensors.
Show us the distance.
So I'm currently 279 from the main star.
Are you going to fly
as,
some more or not?
I think I'm just going to leave it here. If I scroll over to here, because the current jump range is 21.04. The rescue system is 50.07 light years.
Correct.
But I have a size 1 frameshift drive booster. And then if I combine that with fuel and or frameshift drive injection, it should bring it up to the right distance.
It should.
Right, you know, there's always room for... There are still plenty of opportunities for me to screw this entire endeavor up.
So, I will switch quickly because I will show people the numbers. I did not prepare it on your scene. And that's the result, actually. 279 light years beyond Semotus Beacon. That is 65,926.34 light years away from Sol. It's... yeah. Another, what? 110 light years beyond my last record. Of course, doing it with 4 accounts must have resulted in this. But still... You're just so close from 66,000 light years from Sol that I'm just baffled by this fact that we could cross that boundary of 65,000. All right, let's go back to your screen.
Possibly. I pulled up my spreadsheet here, sort of, and I have the ranges that it sort of each additional ship adds. The fourth one adds actually only 26 light years.
Okay.
So there's a lot of diminishing returns. So it might be tricky. It's probably possible. You just might need to take trips and it would take a while.
Yeah.
There's also the possibility that a future update makes something more efficient or gives us a better ship. So, who knows?
Who knows? But I don't know if you remember, because when I first started the original engineering, had actually experimental effects that some of them were modifying the fuel efficiency. But I think because what we do is so unique and nobody needed this in the game, those got abandoned. And there are no experimental effects that currently improve fuel efficiency.
Right. I started playing long after the new engineering system was implemented, so I wouldn't have any of those.
Sorry to interrupt you, but you have your thruster zone.
Oh, right.
Can you flip, however, and show us the distance from Sol and the beautiful view of the galaxy from where you are?
There we are. So yeah, the view is kind of weird. There's like just nothing here, but then there's the Milky Way.
Yeah. Now you can turn off your thrusters and keep the sensors.
Oh, right. I should,
and target Sol.
Right. Let's see if I remember how to do this.
Yeah, that little pointer in the right pane. And now go back.
There we go.
And it is 65,926 light years. I've nothing to say except of I'm contemplating, but myself and my crew, we are now busy with a very long expedition crossing the galaxy for some other reasons. I don't think this is going to come soon, but I don't feel like I'm going to leave it this way, John Rico, unfortunately, that's opposite direction. Andromeda is the other way around. Kind of. So that's the new baseline. Now, Enchantment, you tell me what you want to do. Fly some more? Talk some more?
Right, so...
or jump back?
Well, so one thing I'd like to do is I want to prove that there is a conspiracy by the manufacturers of our system scanners to prevent us from scanning other star systems, because if I target the main star, you can see it says unexplored.
And I
actually haven't done
How did you do
a system scan yet.
But
oh,
wait, because
I forgot to when I arrived, and then I was like, oh, hey, I can try doing it once I arrive.
We have to do it for sure. But I forgot about it, that normally all of my attempts, I would be just before the arrival, lining up with the main star. You're close enough so it would be automatically discovered. But you were starting from the carrier, I believe.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, and I usually go nose to the star, flip, and that's how I align the thingy, the radar, which is showing you your target behind you.
Oh, the nav ball?
Yeah.
Right. The way I did it is there's the empty circle when you're facing away, and I just line that up right in the center.
Right.
Which wasn't perfectly accurate, so I had to come up with some solutions to prevent them from drifting apart.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I'm doing usually. I'm going... so there is an eclipse, essentially. That main star Oevasi completely eclipses the Sol, and I'm heading towards main star usually, seeing the marker of Sol right in the center of it, through it, and then I flip and then fly away. And of course I would scoop normally or get somebody refueled, but now when we have carriers, there is no need for fuel scoop anymore.
Right. I believe I departed directly from the carrier.
That's interesting. How you
this
made
ship,
it.
If I go to the modules, there isn't actually a fuel scoop on this.
Wow.
I I decided because I wanted to I was trying to optimize it, and
Fuel scoop has
I
no
was like,
weight.
hey, I can get an extra 2 tons of fuel.
Yeah, and fuel scoop
Here I am
has
deciding
no weight.
that I'm going to save, an extra 5 to 6 tons in reserve. So that extra half light year was definitely worth me having to get an alternate account to fly all the way here from the bubble.
Okay, so you want to debunk the Discovery scanner?
Oh, right. Let me turn on thrusters in the frameshift drive. Oh, wow. Let me, the speed on this, 134. I remember earlier when I had the full pips to engines, it only got me up to 115. So I burned off a lot of fuel.
Yep. You jumping?
No.
Super Cruise, right?
At least I sure hope not. And then throttle down so I can do the Discovery scanner.
All right. You just honked it.
I scanned it from over 200 light years away.
And show me your navigation panel. Will it now actually show the names or still on X? No, it is.
Right. I think hang on, I need to. One problem with running multiple accounts is I found that it resets your controls all the time, so I need to...
Definitely there is some type of glitch, although the game does have the files separately for Horizons, separately for Odyssey, but clearly there is something going on. Because switching between those two, that's why I actually stopped switching these days, and all of my accounts are Odyssey, because things are getting messed up.
That. Working? Oh, there it goes.
And by the way, I just realized that also Commander Dracomenda is with us here on the audio channel. Draco, are you with us? He might be away, but once he's back, can engage him also.
See, I scanned this world from over 200 light years away, so clearly our scanners are far more powerful than they allow us to use them.
I actually even forgot that there was a water world in Samotus Beacon.
I think I didn't actually check the system. I didn't know there was a water world here. Right. I should take screenshots.
Take a lot of screenshots, plus I'm recording, so hopefully it's reasonable quality. We'll see.
Right, I should record the actual jump.
Yeah. John Rico, I don't know, but we definitely can tug Frontier.
No. No, I'm not trying to jump to Sol.
Don't do this to me. Oh.
Okay. Now I can...
take some screenies from here.
Oh. Dang it. It switched to the default controls for this joystick, which are terrible. How do I turn?
Yeah, that's what happens when the controls are messed up.
You know, I'm just gonna
set it up quickly.
Yeah, it always does this to me. Nope. Why would I have that be roll? That makes no sense. Oh, but this is set up correctly. This is set up correctly. This is not set up correctly. There.
Wait,
We
because
decided on these.
one thing I'm seeing actually for the first time, you are a console player, are you not?
No, I'm actually playing on PC.
So why do you have such weird symbols instead of like joy something?
It might be the joystick I'm using. I'm using an X52 Pro.
Okay, from Logitech.
Yeah, you can barely see it.
Yeah, you may wanna.
Me-
Your thrusters are off, I
Yeah.
hope.
Alright, I should, oops. I can sort of see it.
Enchantment, how are your thrusters?
They're currently on, but I should be quick.
I'm really worried.
I have a few hours of fuel. Famous last words.
Technically, yeah. And that was my mistake last time. We came on fumes completely. Stopped, took like 3 screenshots and jumped back to rescue system. It was, apart from it was a successful run, but it was later on such a regret. You sit for months to get that far, and you don't give yourself time to just look around and enjoy and relax.
Let me put the gamma back to sensible levels.
Yeah, that was a little bit exaggerated.
It turns out there isn't much light out here in the middle of
No,
literal nowhere.
especially the other direction.
Right. So let's see here. Turn this on, turn this on. And I need to... Actually, yeah, let me wait for the booster to come online. Just in case. Okay. So that bumps me up to 25.04.
And now boost. Premium.
It'd be funny if I didn't have enough materials.
You have 21 Ethereum. You have some cojones. I would, when I go, it doesn't matter that it takes like 3 or 5. I'm always going fully stocked.
Right. Okay, so if my calculations are correct, which, you know, they're always correct.
5008.
50.08.
And it's showing 50.36 unladen, meaning you still have excess fuel you could burn to make it better, but
Right.
I wouldn't take it that far.
Yeah, at most I might get like 1 light year, and I don't think it's quite
I don't think you would
necessary
get
at this point.
I don't think you could get entire 1 light year on this, honestly. And that is why it's absolutely not worth the risk.
Okay. So let me get my bookmarks.
Oh, I see RGYD0.
Right, I should record this. If I can remember how this works. Oh. Just use my mouse. There we are.
There it is.
No, it needs to calculate how I'm going to get there.
No, No, just put that same marker like you did for Sol, and jump.
Okay. So it's kind of funny. It says 290 light years, but of course, when it does the calculations, it uses the system-to-system distance.
Yeah.
So I'm technically jumping like 10 times farther than this ship is supposed to be able to.
Yeah.
So, all right. You can see the fuel god just like almost completely blue.
Yeah. I don't want to see it. And it's charging.
Slowly.
But it is.
Wonder if it takes longer to go farther.
Oh. Well, get that fuel scoop going and go to the main star, I would suggest.
What fuel scoop? So now's the part where the ship is technically stranded
of all,
here.
Like, big round of applause because you made it back and now nothing can go wrong. Can you switch accounts for the refueling? Is this what you were talking before?
What I need to do now...
Turn off the thrusters.
Oh, right. Well...
They come online anyways every single time you log on automatically. Oops. So it doesn't help.
Forgot to leave super cruise.
Turn off everything. Log out.
So... I'm actually going to quit to desktop and my broadcast will turn off for a moment. Because I need to switch over to Horizons in order to see it on the other account.
No worries, I'm showing the main screen. So, some other fleet carrier, if they only could move like this. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there is a new record, 279 light years beyond Cmdr Beacon. Cmdr Vivienne Heliat, but not alone. 3 more commanders behind, driven and controlled by our friend Enchantment. Big congratulations, because it's most of you, if you remember the story of Commander Persera, I think till date it's one of the most remembered stories in Elite Dangerous. And if you think about it, it was 11.7 light years beyond Cmdr Beacon. 11.7. We took it that far. I mean, like, I took it 186 and I thought it was good enough. Clearly it isn't. Enchantment did some enchantment. And that's pure magic. Okay, you're loading. I'm putting you back on transmission.
Okay. Oh, are you still able to see the screen?
Yes, everybody can see you right now.
Okay, perfect. Oh, I almost forgot to mention, right in the corner there's my cactus, Phil.
I see it.
I bought him because when I arrived at the system OVAC SGYD0, I was like, wow, it's pretty lonely here. I should get a companion.
Yeah, it is lonely. And cacti are the best because they don't need much water. And I guess cruising for 279 light years, you must have drank all of it.
Let's see here. Now I'm going to open up my alt account.
Enchantment chat is asking some questions. John Rico is asking again how long it took. If you could repeat a little bit, because we talked about it only on the very beginning.
Oh, right. So it took over a month, I think. Let me...
Super
I have a spreadsheet.
Alone. Yeah.
The total
279.
time spent in Super Cruise is about 51 days.
There you go. That makes more sense because I did 30 to 186, so 279 must have been way more than a month.
Let's see here. I don't know if you can see. I'm now in my alt account.
I see your primary, but I see in your message pane that actually Clone 1 came online.
Here, let me go to my stream. Let's see here. Change windows.
See if you can stream the other one then, right?
That's odd. Oh, right. I need to set it to borderless. But it is borderless. Try. Oh, there it goes.
There it goes. Yeah. If now go back to your screen. Okay. Discord is probably using a similar thing that OBS has the game capture, and it is detecting the executable, but it takes it a moment when you play two identical games to switch from one to another. I know that. Although
I see.
It's really good because I can put something on my main screen, and when I stream, nobody can see it because I'm not streaming the display. Oh wait, you are on the surface somewhere.
Oh, right. So this account's just kind of been chilling out here on this moon for, actually I think it's a planet, for over a month now. So I figured I might as well put them somewhere with a view. When I landed, the Milky Way was visible, but not anymore.
No, rotated, unfortunately. Go ahead and refuel quickly.
So, just ignore the ship's name.
I did not pay attention to it. At first I thought, oh, okay, that's fine, you didn't change the original. And then I realized what that was. It is what it is.
All right. Let's see here. Wait to wing. I just want to make sure I can instance. Accept.
Always a problem.
And enable wing beacon. Okay. Oh, now I just have to fly very far. You know what? It's probably actually faster if I were to jump over to the system and then jump back instead of flying over 1,000 light years.
You were sitting at the end somewhere.
Oops.
Wrong button. Oh wait, no. Navlog dropped you, I think.
Strange.
I think there is something going on with Navlog. Last week, if you may remember, we were, or a week before, I don't remember because I haven't streamed. Unfortunately, last week, except of Tuesday. But when we went target hunting in Pleiades with Misk BS, we had some really big problems actually with the navlog and overall functionality of the wing. Like something is fishy. He jumped, then I jumped, and he wasn't there. He actually didn't jump, and some crazy things were happening.
Alright, you can probably see Robigo Mines and Stothis are bookmarked. That's how I got the money quickly. I just sort of grinded them to get the bare minimum.
I have a separate account for making money. I figured that'd be the easiest way, and with the main account I can do whatever and I don't have to be concerned about, you know, carrier upkeep costs or anything.
There we are.
Almost there. So what's the idea right now? You already have space on some carrier that you could potentially...
Funny story.
Yeah?
There is a carrier in the main system, but it doesn't have a shipyard.
Oh.
So I'm thinking I'm going to go onto the Fleet Carriers Discord. I saw there was someone was doing a trip that should arrive probably in a few weeks or like a month, and I'll just ask, hey, can I hitch a ride?
The thing is,
because they're going to Beagle Point.
Guys, can he not use the Sidewinder? So if you, I believe if you self-destruct yourself and instead of choosing rebuy, you pick the stock Sidewinder, I think you will be actually spawned back in the rookie area.
Yeah, that's an option.
That's one way of doing it, and then put the main ship on the carrier and don't care about the supporting accounts.
Let's see here. This on. I should turn something off. Well, then I have just enough.
Yeah, you might. Actually, that heat sink is taking a lot of power. No, don't fight it. No.
I've done more refuelings than I ever like to repeat.
It's getting old, especially when you were doing it like one limpet after another and another.
Right, because I only put in the size 1 just so I could pack more fuel.
Yeah. Well, I would say the mission is secure.
Yeah, so I think I'll have it just fly back to the fleet carrier just to like refuel and repair except for the paint, and then undock from the carrier and go onto the fleet carrier owner's Discord and ask if anyone can give me a ride.
Cool. So yeah, that's pretty good conclusion, I think, for tonight. If you want to do just that, give it enough fuel, fly to the fleet carrier and dock, and that would be...
I just need to get a cool picture.
Sure.
Oh. No, stop moving, stop moving. I hate the default controls so much. No, go backwards. You know what? I'm just gonna... Oops. Oh, no. Oh. Okay. There we go. I got it eventually.
It's funny because I was waiting for the... I was waiting for the shutter sound because the brain is crazy, you know. I use the shutter sound.
Right, I pressed F12 to do the, like with the Steam screenshot, but then I remembered this copy isn't on Steam.
Right. No,
So I had to do a Windows screenshot.
I use Bandicam and I take serious, so it's a toggle. That's why I use the sound, because that was one time, or not even one time, that I started screenshots and I forgot to turn them off. And then my drive ran out of space and the computer crashed and I didn't know what was going on to begin with, so...
Oh yes, I'll need to do another injection to get back. I should have enough, I believe. You know what, just to be safe, I'm actually going to switch back, and I only packed 4 limpets on this, but I'll just synthesize some.
And you still need to
and just
jump to Samatus Beacon now, right?
Right, so I'll give it a bit more fuel, just to be safe.
Yeah. Or
I'm certain that it has enough, but
or check that
you can never be too careful.
Check if there is any carrier in this system, because that's also an option, but...
I don't think there is, last I checked. No.
When we were there, there was one, but I think it was actually under decommissioning already.
Oh, yes, I saw someone in chat estimated it was about 1,200. That seems about right, because on Steam, the amount of time I've played has gone up by about that much.
Yeah.
Probably a bit more because it spent time whenever it got disconnected, the game would still be running. I'd just not be burning.
Yeah, that's Poison BL. Commander Khalida Sakoma, our science officer in #Deluvian crew. He is the brains between any calculation. That was a funny rotation with that limpet.
Yeah. The limpets like to take weird trajectories. I actually spent a bunch of time trying to position the ships just right so that the limpet could take a shorter path, because I have to wait for it to dock and then transfer fuel before I can do the next one. So it'd be like twice as fast if I got it in a good position. Okay.
Yeah.
I should,
2498.
I gave myself too much fuel. I'm too heavy.
Oh, yeah.
Whoops.
You think, well, no, but if you boost it now, 2498, you'll be short.
Yeah. So I'll have to just turn all my modules on and go into Super Cruise for a little while, and then jump back. This is a odd problem to have.
Yeah, too much fuel.
Right. So that'll probably take like 20 minutes, so that might be too long for the stream.
Yeah, that's what I thought as well, that we wanted I definitely wanted to feature you because your attempt only proves that I'm not completely crazy, and I'm not the only one in the universe thinking this way, that this distance can be stretched more and more. So,
Right.
and ever since
I was
we
also
started,
infected with the same brainworm that makes me want to do this.
right? And ever since I came across, I would say we became friends. You joined our Discord, and I keep an eye on it because as much as I cheer for you, of course my heart is now broken because are we not
You think
all
it can be
competitive?
beaten?
It can be.
It'll just be hard.
It can be. Of course it can. Like most any record.
In theory, if I started this all over again today, I could probably stretch it a few more light years by just not making the same mistakes.
Exactly. I remember you lost like 16 light years worth of limpets, for example, during one transfer.
Well, that's what I thought at the time, but I calculated the maximum theoretical distance I could reach was like 282 light years. So something's weird with my calculations.
Yeah. But regardless...
And by that I mean something's wrong with the game because my numbers are never wrong.
Right, of course.
It's the game that's wrong.
But for sure, it was good enough for you actually to have this attempt successful, carried out till the end, with the safe return, and now you have actually excess of fuel. That's a nice problem to have. All right.
So I'll probably try to hitch a ride back to the bubble eventually, but one of the alt accounts I bought, I upgraded it to Odyssey and did some engineering, so I'm hitching a ride on the expedition now. Which has been fun. I've only ever played by myself, so it's a new experience.
Lately, it was very slow due to my professional life and entire madness, but we are moving, and like Draco said today, nobody is chasing us, so it's gonna take a long time to visit all of the nebulae in the galaxy. But that's yet another story. Let's conclude for tonight what I would say. Yet again, congratulations to Enchantman with the main account, Cmdr Vivienne Heliat, establishing a new astonishing record of distance from Sol, 279 light years beyond Semotus Beacon, which I have to go back to control screen. There you go, and that is 65,926.34 comes, the fraction comes from the original Semotus Beacon distance from Sol, because that far, if you don't track very detailed timing, you can really only calculate because the game is showing you no fractions, so you can guess based on calculation. Is it 0.1, 0.3, 0.7? What is it? But
right, I have the numbers. My calculations are more precise than that, but I've obviously lost fuel to various, both to drift and to making mistakes. And sort of all the refueling kind of makes everything a bit messy, so I can't say for certain.
Cool.
So better just round it down, I figure.
Okay, Enchantment. Any famous last words that you wanted to say after this challenge is complete? How do you feel, and what's the future?
This is probably one of the most insane and stupid projects I've ever done, and I had a good time.
I wouldn't call it stupid, but definitely very interesting.
It involved a lot of thought, but
Yeah. All right then. Thank you everybody for coming. That was quite unusual for me, but once we actually discussed this last week with Enchantment, that there will be Friday or Saturday at the edge of the galaxy. I said, like, we need to come up with something, and I really wanted to feature it and record it for the future generations of Elite Dangerous pilots. So that's all for tonight, Commanders. Thank you again. Enchantment, yet again, congratulations. And, well, as I usually say, stay safe and healthy, guys, and have a wonderful rest of the night. Good night, Commanders.